All right, so this one we named The Case of the Vanishing Inventory. So picture it, it's Monday morning, several of your online stores have closed, but instead of celebrating, you're staring down a nightmare because multiple purchase orders have to be manually submitted across different vendors. And then as you start digging into these orders, you discover that several key products are out of stock. And to make matters worse, you have several vendors that you haven't met minimums with on several different items. So now you're trying to substitute products or vendors or both. This normally could be a complete nightmare, especially during busy season. But with Chipley, we're going to help you get through this with no sweat.
Yeah, so a few ways that Chipley helps you with the scenario and similar ones. Of course, we have our inventory thresholds, which helps make sure that you never get to a point where you have things that you're selling that are already out of stock. One-click purchasing helps make things just really easy for you. Global purchasing helps you meet those vendor minimums by aggregating orders across all your stores. And then product and vendor substitution helps make it easy to sub out different products or even vendors when things are getting low in stock. So, key takeaway, we are here to help make sure that you not have your missing inventory and you can do things smoothly, accurately, and without so much pain.
Yeah. A couple quick things to know here too is the vendors on the right. The first one is all of the vendors that you can currently use inventory thresholds on. So again, if a color or a size goes out of stock or goes below your threshold, that color size will automatically be turned off. The vendors right below are for the purchasing, so that is especially huge at this time of the year. Um, Closing down all your holiday sites, as well as global purchasing too. So if you guys don't know what that is, you can send multiple stores into global, which is huge if you're trying to meet minimums, or if you're also doing print on demand stores, that could help too. And product and vendor substitution is also huge. So being able to substitute out a whole vendor, especially if you're trying to meet um, minimums for SAMR, for example, and you have SAMR and SNS on your store, and only one product was ordered from SNS, chances are you can get that product from SAMR. So quickly substituting that and just streamlining your purchasing is huge. So
All right, the next one is the multiplying stores monster. So you're rushing to get several stores launched and requests start piling up. So you have one customer that wants multiple logos and decoration processes across dozens of products, screen print, embroidery, hats, tumblers, backpacks, you name it. And then another just emailed to say that the one color logo that they had, they now need to change to a three color logo, and their store has over 50 products in it. And then, of course, you built this beautiful rec league store, and it went over so well that now you have five additional teams that want the exact same thing. So your finished stores are no longer finished. They're all back on the drawing board, and you're having to scramble to try and get these stores built and launched.
Yeah, so Chipley has some features that help streamline that and lets you launch stores with lots of products without being worried about having to do all these manual things when things change. So one would be the copy store feature. So if you have a store that you like and you want to replicate it either for a different client or the same client for their next year's store, you can just go ahead and copy those and then make little changes here and there, but not do everything from scratch again. Cross-organization scalability. So if you created this really complex store, like Ryan said, and now the other sports team wants it as well, you can just go ahead and replicate that and then change the branding so it still fits, maybe add some different products. But again, you're not starting from scratch. Bulk updates helps you change things en masse. So if there are little changes or tweaks you have to do, You can do it across your entire store instead of going one by one. And similarly, auto art placement, same thing. If you have a change you need to make or different branding or more colors, you can do that across the board without having to go each item one by one. So, key takeaway with all of these features, we help eliminate and really reduce some of that manual effort so that it's easy, it's fast, and you can say yes to your customers with confidence.
Yeah. One thing I wrote in my notes on this slide in particular is if you guys are doing things like one at a time, or if there's something that you're doing that it's like, why is this taking me so long? Chances are there's a faster way to be doing it. And that's the sign to definitely reach out to Team Chipley, especially during the crazy times too, as well. So anything that you're probably doing can be done a little bit faster if you're like, oh, this is slow. So.
All right, the curse of the complex package. So, a customer approached you about setting up a complex uniform store, but they hesitate because the last time they tried an online store, several players ended up with incorrect or missing items. And you know that the risk is real. So, once these orders are placed, you're going to be the one responsible for fulfilling multiple items from multiple players across multiple teams, sometimes in multiple school buildings. Like it can just become a lot. And one wrong drop down choice or a mismatched package could turn fulfilling those orders into a real nightmare. And it's going to leave unhappy customers at the end of it. And that's the last thing you want. You want them to always have a good association with you so that they're coming back to you next year or for their next store, and then also referring you to their friends and family and coworkers and teammates and stuff. So we're going to help you with that.
Yeah, and here's where you can especially tell that Chipley was originally built by team dealers because this is all very familiar and we have things that support those functions. So group products, categories, and packages helps eliminate the manual error from your shoppers. So being able to make different selections and see really clearly, do I have everything I need? Is my package complete? Exclusive drop downs will help eliminate, two people coming back with the same number. If somebody checks out with one, for instance, then that won't be available for somebody else to select as well. Options export, that just helps capture all of that detailed information to make sure that you're fulfilling things accurately. Sorting and packing lists we talk about a lot here. Those just help you check and check again and make sure that you feel really confident that when an order leaves your door, you know for sure it's accurate. And then additional information fields. So things like grade level or homeroom, again, just helps keeps you and your customers organized so that everybody gets what they need where they need it. So key takeaway, we help make complex packages simple and help reduce confusion and ensure accuracy.
One thing I'll say too, I know we're only in October, but a lot of us are closing down our holiday stores, and soon we'll be thinking about next year with volleyball stores, spring ball stores. If you're not doing your packages on Chipley, or you definitely should be. Everything in here is meant to streamline the whole process and make it not only easy for you, but also easy for the group organizer too. So
We have a question, Chris. It says, does this include setting decoration to be explicit for certain colors of garments? Chris is going to be able to answer this a lot better than I can, but yes, because if you have a certain artwork, you set it to go on your dark colors, your dark gray, your black, whatever. And then your other artwork that's for lighter colors, you're going to set that for your light gray, your whites, and things like that. And you can get very detailed with that.
yeah, there's on the artwork page, and I can show it too if you still have um questions at the end. You can select your standard colors, and we've kind of broken that all down. So you have your light colors and you have your dark colors, and Chipley will automatically put the logo on there for you. But you can also go down on the granular level two and choose which colored logo you want to show up on which colored artwork through the color assignments page. So, is there any more questions? I can't see the questions on my screen, so cool. And then, oh yeah, here's just some screenshots. This is huge for the group products here. So, if you guys aren't utilizing group products for your packages, you should be. It's specifically helpful too, if you need the player to choose from a this or that, like a baseball pant, if they have three of them that they need to choose from that they could have. Um, Uniform, this is what the sorting list and the packing slips look like. The one thing I do want to highlight, oh, oh, what's going on? Where are we going here? Oh. My computer's freaking out. Is the additional information field. So that is what this looks like here. What that allows you to do is to set up upon checkout for everyone to choose what team that they're on. So you can input the teams. It doesn't have to be teams. It could be home rooms. If you're doing a corporate account, like what location that they're at. And then when the store shuts down, you'll be able to actually sort and pack your orders by these additional information fields that will just allow you to streamline the whole thing. So, here's all the orders that go with uh, girls 11, here's all the orders that go with girls 12, so on and so forth. So, very huge.
All right. The Dance Store of Doom. So when we were putting together this webinar and we were asking the sales team and account manager stuff, we're like, tell us about your, web store horror stories, like what crazy issues or situations have customers come to you with that you've had to help them manage. And it seemed that dance and cheer stores were a common theme. Apparently, they are notorious for being difficult because they're very specific a lot of times. So if you do have a dance team that comes to you with a long list of high-end apparel for their online store, and every item has multiple decoration locations, so full front, left sleeve, back, locker tag, and they also want personalization options like name, number, graduation year, class level, that sort of thing. Chipley is here to help. So with expensive products and razor thin margins, you can't afford a single mistake because one misprint or misdetail is going to wipe out your profits and then damage that customer relationship at the same time. So you want to make sure to keep everything as streamlined and simple as possible, and we're here to help you do that.
Yeah, so a few of the things that we kind of already talked about really come into play here. So store templates, if you do create something really complex, you can save that as a framework that you can reuse over and over again, just changing out details, but not going through the painstaking process of building it over and over again. Of course, we have our Chipley templates, so like the Sandmar Cheer and Dance store template. That just lets you quickly bring in the relevant products, high inventory, popular products, so that you have something to get started with for that. My products, again, if you've built something that's really complex, that's specific to a certain item, you can go ahead and save that and then pull it into different stores as needed and just make those tweaks to make it relevant to that store. Again, you're sorting in packing lists, the group and exclusive drop downs, and the auto art placement just makes sure that people are ordering correctly. It really puts guardrails up there so that they can't make too many mistakes. It helps you make sure that yes, you're getting everything fulfilled accurately, and you can make changes here and there without it being a total nightmare that you have to start from scratch. So key takeaway, we're providing those repeatable frameworks that help minimize error and simplify all those high complexity stores.
So this right here is an example of what my computer uh, is an example of what a complicated product and options could look like. One of the things that I sometimes forget about too is utilizing my products. So if you have a product that is complicated, instead of you having to rethink of how to set up in your store, again, you can bring in a previously a product or a product from another store that has all those options on it. Bring that into your store so at least you have a starting off point. Or if you have a cheer or dance store that you use over and over again, you should be copying that or even setting that up as a template to generalize everything to help streamline the whole entire process. Specifically, if you're doing these stores over and over again, I know that they can get a lot of hate because they are a little bit more complex, but once you kind of break it down and you do it once, and you use the tools that Chipley have to streamline the whole process, you don't really have to go through those headaches every single time a team comes to you. You can be excited about it because you know how simple it is. So
Yeah, I'm reminded of this quote that one of our customers said, you know, some of these features in Chipley has allowed them to say yes to projects that they used to have to say no to because they just didn't have the bandwidth at the time, or they knew it was going to be a crazy headache and it wasn't worth it. Because of these features, they can confidently say yes and know that they can deliver on that.
yeah.
All right, so probably Chipley's best feature is our customer support team. So if you have a complicated web store or a question that you don't know how to solve, you should definitely reach out to us. We do want to note that our support email has recently changed. If you send it to the old one by accident, don't worry, it's going to get forwarded. But do go in and update your contacts so that that new email is reflected. It's just teamchipply@chipply.com now instead of .biz. And then, of course, the phone number is there as well. But when you come across these situations and you're like, this seems like it's going to be really difficult, or it seems like I'm not going to be able to do this, reach out to us. Our team is here to help you. And what happens a lot of times is if we don't have an answer for you right now, Lynn and the team and Jovi is going to start working on one. So when you come to us with those situations and those needs, it gets put on our roadmap and it will eventually be answered. So definitely reach out to us. We're always here to help. And if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, we don't have any right now, but we'll give a couple seconds to see if anybody has any before we wrap up here today.
If you want to share your own horror story.
Yeah.
And then if you, whoever asked the question about the art, if you want me to go into it, I can quickly share my screen and show you how simple that is.
Not seeing any other questions.
No
This month was,
questions?
here we go. Is there a video anywhere of you actually setting up a store, like start to finish? We do have that, right?
Technically, if you go into the this is a great opportunity. If I can exit out of. So if you are in Chipley, if you hit this little question icon up here, it will bring you into the help page. In here, I forget what the exact article is, how to build a store. Um, there is one here that has a video. The video is a little bit older, but there is a document that is up to date with a lot of the new changes that we have made to the platform. Um, but I think we were talking one of the next webinars might be a store build. So keep a lookout on that.
Someone would like to know who would go over the artwork, adding the artwork.
Yeah. So if you're new to Chipley or anything like that, this is just when you go into a store. I'm just in a store here. On the left-hand side, I'm going to click on artwork. And then this is a older store, so everything should be the same. But if I click into one of these artworks here, um, on here, you can specify. So this information here, the decoration color and the garment color, this is what's going to show up on the work order. But this feature here is pretty cool. So if I select this, pretty much all I'm going to do is I'm going to match that I want this color to go on black. So what we've done in Chipley is for all the products that are inside of the platform, we have specified that color's black, or that color is gray dark, or that color is gray light, for example. You know, some products have tons of crazy color names, but in theory, it's just blue, or it's just like the Carolina blue, but they might have a crazy name for it. So we've done all that work for you. So all I have to do is say, oh, I want this one to go on black, this one to go on red, and this one to go on white. And then when I hit save, it will load, um, place that for me on all the products. And then when I look at my store preview, all of the artworks will be on the products. So
Very simple.
very simple.
We someone asked about issues with sales tax, specifically related to the Facilis. So when it comes to sales tax, it gets very specified. So it really depends on where you're at, where your customers are, that sort of thing. So for those kind of questions, we really suggest reaching out to your account manager. They've done it all, they've seen it all, and they're going to be able to help you out with that specific situation. And then as far as relating it to Facilis, we're currently launching that Syncor integration. So we have a lot of information there too. And that's rolling out, I mean, really like kind of right now. So we're working on getting that information to you. So definitely reach out to your account manager or your salesperson, and they'll be able to answer those questions specifically for your situation.
Yes.
All right.
Any other
That's all we have.
questions? Cool.
Like I was gonna say, like this one, it was kind of a short and sweet one. Like I said, we just wanted to kind of come back to basics, give you guys a chance to answer or ask some of those questions about, Chipley best practices and that sort of thing. For the rest of the year, we're looking at kind of hopefully looking at doing webinars about going forward. So we've got some new product updates that are going to be coming out here in Q4. Hopefully, we're going to get Lynn to be on one of those webinars with us so that she can kind of walk you through those. And then to wrap up the year, hopefully we'll be able to get Joby, who is, our director of engineering, on here to kind of talk you guys through the roadmap of what's coming in 2026. So look for those invites coming. And thank you guys for joining us today.
Yes, I'm just
I
responding to
have
someone.
one more about connecting with Fulfill Engine.
I I was gonna say just to reach out to Team Chipley.
Yeah, we've got some updates coming that's going to make that extremely simple too. They're not quite ready, but here within the next few weeks they will be. So reach out and we can kind of talk you through those again for your situation.
Yeah, we do have a solution currently that will help, but there's a nicer one coming too. So cool.
All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you next month.
Hopefully we didn't scare you too bad. Bye everyone.